The COVID-19 virus has made a huge impact on our society for the last 2 months, and our country has been closed down during this period. Schools are closed, and a lot of people have to work from home. Online teaching is not that bad in my opinion, but not being able to see my friends every day is the hardest part. While someone is happy with digital teaching, others may find it difficult. It can be several reasons for it. For example, poor internet, or someone in the family you have to take care of because of the closed schools and kindergartens. The pupils who normally struggle a lot in school uh, have a lot higher chance of missing out with this digital teaching because they may become distracted with video games, Netflix, and generally doing other things than they are supposed to do. And this can be a huge problem for themselves because they miss out on all the learning and info. And not being able to see our friends every day is extremely boring, and in worst case scenario it can lead to depression, which we don't want. So therefore we need to include as much people as we can, friends or not friends, because we need to stick together right now and maybe find new friends. Because our country has been locked down, the economic consequences is vast, and especially for the tertiary industry, it's a huge problem. For example, the restaurants, which have fewer guests or have to be closed, or the barbers, because they had to close down during almost the whole period of 2 months, and was recently allowed to reopen again, thankfully. The reason that our government decided to lock down the country like they did was to prevent large infection rates, because if a lot of people get infected at the same time, the hospitals and medical centers are not able to take care of everyone, and then more people will die because of that. Therefore, we need to flatten the curve and keep the infection rates down, so more people have higher chance of survival. The reason our government locked down and closed as much as they did, not Sweden, is because we have economic strength to do so. Especially because our oil money, we can afford to pay drilling companies, people without jobs at the moment, and therefore we have much lower infection rates because of the tighter and strict rules, and that's why Sweden have a lot more infected and dead people than we do in a shorter time. Because of this bizarre situation, we have seen some both bad and good things from people. For example, in the stores, it's bad that people stock up on food and other necessary items, because then it will leave much less resources for others which needs it, and therefore our grocery stores have hung up texts saying not to stock up on items. Other bad things that happened is an increase in little and smaller crimes or felonies, for example vandalism and small thievery, because they believe the police have a lot of other things to do, for example keeping people away from big crowds, and they do not take as much risks as they used to do. But the good things that have happened during the coronavirus is that people are suddenly nicer to each other. We smile when we see each other in the grocery store, and we wave to each other when we pass in the streets, and it's more appreciation towards the health personnel, janitors, cleaners, and people working in grocery stores, which before was very low profile jobs.